And welcome back to Charlottesville Insights. This is Jeff Gaffney, your host, and I want to thank everybody that came out to our Super Sundays promotion that Real Estate 3 has once a month. And last week we had an amazing turnout. The beneficiary was the Starlight Fund, which is put together by some of our great agents over in the Fishersville office with Real Estate 3, where they're helping folks in need in the Fishersville community. We had an amazing turnout. The Super Sundays is the largest open house event in Central Virginia. We had over 40 homes open, and beautiful weather, great day, great cause. So thank you to everybody that came out. Our next Super Sundays event, if you could mark your calendar, is April 15th, and we'll be benefiting the Alzheimer's Association, and we'll be chatting with two of our great agents, Vicki Thompson and Tommy Brannick, who are both incredibly involved with that organization. So on the show today, we have Pat Jensen. Pat, you've done it all in real estate, including the Virginia Association of Realtors Salesperson of the Year. You've been the president at the Virginia Association of Realtors. You've been the president here in the Charlottesville Association of Realtors. I mean, you're pretty much like the all-American broker.
Thanks. I just feel like if I'm in it, I need to be in it 120%.
Well, you are in it all the way. And let's talk about 2012. My sense is you're super busy, and it's a lot different feeling in the market today than this time last year.
Yes, I'm in charge of around 55 or 60 agents at our North office up on 29 North, and we have seen a rather remarkable increase in business in the real estate world. We have properties that go on the market and have multiple offers. I myself put a house on, opened it on Tuesday, had 32 realtors come through. 4 of them brought back people that evening. 8 people lined up the next day, and the day after I put it on the market, I had an over full price offer on it with 3 people ready to write a contract in the background. We have situations where one of our agents was very excited. He had a house that had actually been on the market 474 days, and he got a contract on it. We are having a number of contracts coming in, so it feels as though the dam is breaking open, and this pent-up demand that we have heard about so much is starting to happen. And I think part of it has to be, one person approached me and they said, I think we need to do it now because I'm feeling like the interest rates and maybe even the prices are about to start slipping up again, as they have in some other areas of the state like Northern Virginia.
Let's talk about that for a second, because this article that came out this week from AOL Real Estate, Lawrence Yun, who is the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors, he predicts that prices will actually rise by 2% in 2012. You want to put your crystal ball out there and tell us what you think?
Well, what has happened is, since they've been tracking prices on homes back in the 30s, I believe, there's been an average increase of 3 to 5% every year for appreciation. And we had an abnormally high increase in the prices starting in 05, 06, 07. And then we have had an abnormal drop, so that if you look at that line that was gently going up, we went way above the line in sale prices, and now we are way below the line. Overcorrected. So now what we're going to see over the next year or two is a gentle increase in prices in some area. There'll still be good prices, but there will be a gentle increase. And something I was looking at said that home prices right now are the equivalent of buying a home in 2002.
Yes, and last week we talked about on the show how Warren Buffett came out with his Oracle of Omaha. He came out with the statement that if he could, he would buy a couple of 100,000 single-family homes, because in particular he thinks single-family homes in the U.S. are undervalued right now. What do you think about that?
I absolutely agree with it. This is becoming an excellent investors market, not investors like we saw a few years ago, which helped contribute to the problem we're in. Those were investors that looked for a quick turnaround. The investors in the market right now are solid investors. They're looking for good investment. They're taking their money out of their stocks and other vehicles, and they're putting them in long-term real estate. So there's some outstanding opportunities for investors right now.
Let me read this statement to you from this AOL real estate article. It says the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, said that homes are more affordable than they've been in 40 years.
That's right.
While the National Association of Home Builders recently stated the home affordability hit a 20-year high.
That's right. There are mortgage companies now offering investors a 20% down program instead of the 25% they've been saddled with for a while. So, an opportunity for an investor equates an opportunity for a homeowner. And the homeowners have products out there. It's still difficult to borrow money, but if you can get the interest rate and find the house you want, it is an affordable time to get in a home.
Pat, we have a lot of first-time homebuyers that listen to this show. What would you tell any of them that are renting right now and have been sitting on the sidelines for a lot of different reasons, but they feel like, let me give you this scenario. First-time homebuyer, they're renting now, they're paying $1,200 to maybe $1,500 a month in rent, and they feel like they're going to be relatively stable in their job for the next 3 to 5 years. What do you tell them?
I tell them it's time to buy. I have a gal that I helped, young 27-year-old, nice stable job at the university. She was ready for her own place. She was paying $1,200 a month rent. We found her a home that was a short sale that was the assessed value was $220. The list price was $179. We got it for $149. She is now paying less money, including her taxes and insurance, than she was paying for her rent, and she has a nice 2-story home with a great big backyard for her dog. She's very happy.
Any of our first-time home buyers that are listening, or really any of our listeners, if you're looking for somebody who really makes you feel good about the home buying process, call Pat Jensen, contact her, Google her, look her up on the web. She has so much experience, but makes you feel good and will certainly guide you on the ins and outs of whether it's time for you to buy a home. We're going to get to some of your questions here real quick before the break. Gina in Charlottesville wrote in on Facebook, I am thinking of buying my first home. How much down payment do I need?
A lot will depend on where you get your home. If you qualify, there are USDA rural development loans that are available with 100% financing. They are not in the city, so you'd need to check with someone at New American or a mortgage company and find out where they are eligible. And we have a lot of homes very close into the city that are actually in the county. There are also properties available if you qualify with FHA from 3% down. If you want a condo, you're going to have to put closer to 12 to 20% down. So it will just depend on what you're looking for.
I was, Pat, you'll find this interesting. I was sitting in a meeting this week with a lender in town who thinks that they can do a USDA loan at the villas at Southern Ridge for those condos. So let me break that down for a second. We're talking about condos that run anywhere, I'm going to use rough numbers, $100,000 to $150,000. Mm-hmm. And if you're getting in, and maybe they bump the rate a little bit for a condo because maybe there's some perceived risk by the lender. If you're getting in 4.5%, 5% with zero down, you could walk into the villas at Southern Ridge off of 5th Street and buy one of those condos, own a condo today at a reduced price with the low interest rates, everything that AOL Real Estate, the article was talking about. You could own it for much less than it would cost to rent over there.
That's right. That's right. It makes a lot of sense.
What an opportunity for somebody. We're going to get to some more of your other questions after the break. But, Pat, I'm wondering, before we take the break, what is the most important thing that you tell your sellers today? Flip this around, because I'm afraid that sellers are going to get a little overconfident with some of this news because it's still a battle out there. What's the most important thing if you're thinking about selling your home in today's real estate market? What's the number one, maybe two?
I think the most important thing is to find out from the seller what they want. Do they want to be somewhere else in a particular amount of time, or are they okay sitting on that house for another couple of years? If they have an agenda and want to get on with their life, then they need to price it right.
Well, you're hearing it from the best. Pat Jensen's with us. We're going to take a break and be right back with more Charlottesville Insights.